Hi and welcome to another 5-minute maths video. This time we're looking at adding and subtracting surds. Now to do this video you do need to make sure that you're quite comfortable with simplifying surds. If you've not looked at my other video yet, then take a look at that first. If not, just carry on with this video and see how you get on. When adding surds, the first thing that we need to have a look at is to make sure that we've got the same number in the square root sign. What I mean by that is if we look at the first one, we've got the square root of 2 add the square root of 2. As both of the square roots have got the same number, we can go ahead and add these. First, before we do that though, I'm going to just recap a little bit of algebra. If we've got x plus x, we get 2x. Now we can use this when we are adding surds. As the square root of 2 and the square root of 2 is just a number, we can say that the square root of 2 add the square root of 2 is 2 root 2. This time with the root 2 replacing the x in our first example. If we look at the second part then, we've got 3 root 3 plus 4 root 3. We've got the same number within the square root. So again, I'm just going to show you with algebra. We would have 3x plus 4x, which would give us 7x. If we replace the x with our root 3, that means that 3 root 3 plus 4 root 3 is 7 root 3. The last example is the first one where we've not got the same number in the square root sign. So we're going to go ahead and try and simplify these and see whether we end up with the same number in the square root sign. So the square root of 8 is the same as the square root of 4 times 2, which is the square root of 4 times by the square root of 2, which is 2 root 2. Square root of 18 is the square root of 9 times by 2, which is the square root of 9 times by the square root of 2, which is 3 root 2. We've now got the same thing in the root sign, so we've got 2 root 2 add 3 root 2, which becomes 5 root 2. To subtract surds, we just follow the same rules as we do for adding surds. So again, we make sure that the surd has got the same number. So we've got 5 root 2 subtract root 2. Now again, I'm going to use algebra just to show you how this works. So we'd have 5x take away x. Remembering that 5x take away x is 4x and not 5, as some people like to write. So again, if we replace the x with our root 2, that means that 5 root 2 take away root 2 just becomes 4 root 2. Second example is one that we're going to have to simplify first. So root 75 is equal to the square root of 25 times by 3, which is root 25 times by root 3, which is 5 root 3. Root 12 is the same as the square root of 4 times by 3, which is the same as the square root of 4 times by the square root of 3, which is 2 root 3. So we can now do 5 root 3 take away 2 root 3, which is just 3 root 3. The last example, another one that we're going to have to simplify first. So we've got root 50 is the same as the square root of 25 times by 2, which is the same as the square root of 25 times by the square root of 2, which is 5 root 2. Root 8 can be written as the square root of 4 times by 2, which is the square root of 4 times by the square root of 2, which is 2 root 2. So we've got 5 root 2 take away 2 root 2, which is the same as 3 root 2. Here are some questions for you to have a go at. Go ahead and pause the video here and see how you get on. Here are the answers to those questions. I hope you got on okay. If not, go back and have a re-look through the video and try those questions again. If you like the video, please subscribe. Take a look at the other videos that I've put on. There will be more to follow shortly. Good luck in your exams in the summer and keep revising hard.